Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is not just a tutorial video, it's kind of an informative video. And the main purpose of this video is for you guys to understand that how you can get started in IoT. Yes, how you can get started with Internet of Things as a career option. And not only how to get started, but also what are the possible verticals that you have in the world of IoT that you can explore. So it's gonna be a bit informative video. Probably it will help you out if you're interested in an IoT. Else, just listen to this and probably you might get some information, some career options with respect to IoT. So my name is Avirup Basu. Yes, you guys know that. I work in the field of IoT for the past 5 to 6 years. Currently, I'm working as a technical lead at P360, and I hope I am qualified enough to help you guys out to get started with IoT. So, whenever we think about IoT, at the back of our mind, we always think that I should know or I should understand how this hardware works, or I should know how to build this hardware. Well, the fact is that it's not just about hardware. Yes, hardware is one of the key components of IoT, but it's not just about that makes the IoT system. There are a lot of other components that goes into picture to build the entire system. And as a matter of fact, you need not know about the hardware at a very deep level or at a very low level to get started with IoT. Because many of you who are listening to this, who are viewing this video, not listening, who are viewing this video, probably are from computer science background or from a different background altogether. But you might not have that exposure to hardware as compared to an electronics or an electrical student. So yes, it's not just about hardware. It's one of the parts, and it's not just about that part itself. So in the world of IoT, as a hardware engineer, you do have a lot of scope. I'm coming to the other parts a bit later. Let's just consider the hardware part as of now. Yes, there are a lot of scopes with respect to hardware. You can get into designing, product designing, circuit designing, PCB designing, and at a software level, like a low-level software programming, you can definitely get into firmware programming. You can get into protocol engineering and all those stuffs. Now, this all is a part of the broader hardware section, or what we call the things section of IoT. There's Internet of Things. The things section comes into this, whatever I mentioned before comes into the things section. Now, other than things, like you have lots of devices. Even your cell phone is an IoT device. So how does these devices communicate to the internet? There has to be some network in between. If it is happening through Wi-Fi or through cellular network or through anything else like a BLE or LoRa, there has to be something in between which will enable these devices to talk to the internet. Now here comes the networking section of IoT. So networking section is another, probably one of the key components when it comes to IoT after the hardware. So there's a huge scope as a network engineer or as a networking guy to get into IoT. Now the third part of IoT is the internet part. So you have hardware, you have the network. Now you need something which will connect these devices to the internet. And once the devices are connected to the internet, you must handle those data or write some application which will enable the user to communicate back and forth with the device, either directly or indirectly. So if it is happening through the internet, there will be a cloud computing layer. So that is the third section of the IoT vertical. That is a cloud computing platform like AWS, GCP, ThingsWork, Azure. There are many IoT platforms that can be used to leverage this particular block. So what happens in this particular cloud computing block is the devices send data to the internet. This cloud computing platform, we write various microservices, we write some APIs, we write some applications which will feed on those data, perform some actions, and either allow the user to interact with the device via this cloud computing platform, or simply allow the devices to take some write some code blocks that will be executing on the cloud computing platform, which will allow the devices to be controlled or to be monitored. So the cloud computing platform is essentially the hub where all the data comes into the picture from all these devices, and it's a centralized hub where all the magic happens in terms of data. So let's say if you have a sensor, let's say a thermostat is reporting certain temperature, and in somewhere in the cloud you have written a code block like if the temperature exceeds something, then send some action to any other device. Let's say send an on command to air conditioner. So yes, you have the device sends the data to the cloud computing platform. We write some code blocks on the cloud computing platform, and whenever there's an incoming data from those sensors into that platform, it takes some decisions, and based on that the platform sends the command back to an air conditioner to whether to switch on or switch off. So yes, that those all decision making part with the data normally happens in a cloud computing block. Now this cloud computing block also serves another purpose. So let's say you have a device or you have an application. I want an application, you have a device or you have an IoT system. And then you need to interact with the system. So how will you interact with the system? If it is happening directly, then you need to build some application either on mobile or on your computer, which will interact with these devices through something will be there in between, right? Either it will be Bluetooth like BLE, or either will be Wi-Fi, or there has to be some layer. Now if it is internet, there has to be something in between. So you write applications either for the web or for the mobile apps that will communicate to the devices either directly like BLE or something of that sort, or indirectly through the internet. Now when it is happening indirectly through the internet, the applications use the cloud computing platform to communicate with these devices. Got it? And these applications, somebody has to build these applications, right? Otherwise, how it will work? So yes, the fourth vertical of IoT is application development, and that is where there is a huge market. So if you're a computer science graduate, or if you are a hardcore application developer who is working on Node.js or Python or React or Angular, or probably Swift or Android, all those things. So you can definitely build applications that will be used by the IoT system. Either it will be used directly through the cloud computing platform, or it will be, indirectly through a cloud computing platform, or directly through BLE, LoRa, or something of that sort. So yes, that is definitely another vertical. So as a engineering student or as a developer, if you are an application developer, then definitely you can get into IoT through this particular block, which is through the application development section. If you are into cloud computing like Azure and AWS, then definitely you can build solutions which run on these cloud computing platforms, which will help you to build an IoT system. If you are a network guy, then you can build networks which will be used by these IoT devices to communicate to the internet. If you're a hardware guy, you can design the circuits, the hardware component of IoT. Or if you are a low-level programmer like C++ or embedded C programmer, then you can write firmware for which will be executed by these devices. So it's not just about the hardware. There's a whole ecosystem. Now, how do you get started with IoT? There are so many moving parts. So how do you get started as a student or as a developer? Well, how I got started is I developed at least one end-to-end application with IoT. I probably make another video out of it, like how to build an end-to-end application with respect to IoT. But if you can build one end-to-end application starting from the hardware to the low-level programming, to the cloud computing, to networking, and finally the application layer, then you'll probably end up getting an overall idea about how this entire IoT system works, where each of these components fit, and where do you fit in. So it will help you take that decision, like what should I pursue in terms of whether it's application or it's cloud or it's low level programming or it's networking or whatever. What should I as a developer pursue in order to get into IoT? So IoT again is not just about hardware. Yes, hardware is there, but there's a whole lot of things that comes into play. So that's all for today. I'll probably make another video. Not sure, but I might make it where I can showcase it to, like how to build an end-to-end IoT system. And there's a huge world of IoT. You know, the market is expanding with respect to IoT. People are making smart devices. People are investing a lot of money into modernizing all those legacy systems that are written probably decades ago. So there's a huge amount of money that goes into modernizing all those old age systems. And when it comes to modernization of these legacy systems, like an modernization of an assembly line, modernization of an industrial control system, all this where IoT plays a huge role. So definitely there's a huge scope when it comes to IoT. And yeah, that's all for this video. I will meet you in another video probably in the upcoming week. Thank you, and if you like this video, please hit the like button, do subscribe to my channel, and see you again soon. Bye bye.